Hey Beacons, welcome again to the Laurie Brand podcast. How have you been? How's the family and how's everything going on your side of the divide? On today's episode, we have someone I'll call a bank of not just ideas, a wealth of knowledge. She's phenomenal. For me, there are a few women who actually get me on my toes, who I can listen to. Sometimes it's the curse of, should I say, being intelligent. There are a few people who can actually talk to you that you go, Rema or word or tweet. And for me, she's one of such people. We've had conversations several times, and people come and say, "These women, you are still here." An hour later, we would, how you say, "Okay, bye bye, let's be going." One idea would not come again. Be like, wait, let's unpack all of that. She's that kind of person. It's like a well that never runs dry, that keeps giving, and she keeps spitting. Like if it was music, you say she'd be spitting things like. I'm just going to allow her tell us briefly about herself. But before then, we want to say a very big thank you for honoring our invitation. We saw last week, and I'm like, thank you so much for being a guest on the podcast. She's like, already? I've said yes. I said yes. So you were on the podcast, and it was amazing. And she said, book me already, like without hassle, without stress. I appreciate you. I celebrate you. I'm really, really, really very grateful. And on behalf of every viewer, every member of the baking community, we say thank you so very much, man.
Thank you so much for having me. It feels very warm here, by the way. I don't mean the temperature, I mean,
Oh,
I feel at
wow.
home.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. So I know they are curious already. This person, this woman has heights like this. Who is she first and foremost? Like, where is she from? Have we heard about her before? Those many questions. So let's start peeling this onion bulb one layer at a time. Can you first tell all the viewers who you are and keep their minds at ease so they'll know why they're listening to us today?
Okay, so who I am first. I'm a child of God.
Wow.
I understand that, and I carry that everywhere I go.
Beautiful.
My name is Queen Ouserigha. I'm the co-founder for Kura Foods and Disposable. So Kura Foods and Disposable is a food processing brand based here in Abuja. We started business a few years ago. We have a few products, and they are in stores already. But I don't think we should talk about that now. Yeah. Yes. No.
See, one and that's another conversation to be had. I told you. Okay.
I'm a mother. I'm still a wife. I'm a mother. 2 boys and a girl.
Wow.
I have a teen now. Yeah, so my first child is about 16.
Wow.
Yes, it comes with a bit of mixed feelings actually. 1 minute you are happy, the next minute you get the stern look from them.
Oh, wow.
Like, Mom, I'm growing. You need to understand I'm growing.
Wow.
But it's exciting, It's exciting. So what else? I wear so many hats, but today I'll let out a few. Apart from owning my own manufacturing business, I sit on a board as well of a few companies, energy company, financial company as well. I have a master's degree in supply chain management from the University of South Wales. I have another degree in operations management from the University of South Wales as well. Mentioning South Wales brings memories. Such a warm, such a warm community. So I had really good times there. I made some very good friends there. So yeah.
I told you. And that's the much she wants to share. Remember that in trying to be vulnerable, we're making sure that we don't overshare. We're giving you the information that you really, really need. Because at the end of the day, it's the tea that you want. It's the cream of the matter, not really her degrees, right? Thank you so much for that very beautiful introduction. Thank you so much. Thank you. Today we'll be talking about something that is very, very dear to my heart personally. And I believe that it's a thing for a lot of women who are ambitious, especially in present day society, when even though women are told to dream, are told to be ambitious, to aspire, we're still expected to be very, very good housewives, right? Make sure the home is prim and proper. Raise amazing children while still killing it in the boardrooms. That's why this conversation is coming to you all today. Guys, it's okay to listen into so you know how to help your wives, okay? And ladies, please pull your chairs closer because we're going to be talking about things that are actually bothering you, that a lot of you are not finding words to language adequately or properly, navigating marriage, business, and family life. I know, right? A lot of us were not prepared for parenting. They just told us, go to school, finish NYSC, go and marry. How would survive or cope or thrive or dominate or occupy till God comes? These things were not taught to us. And that's why the Lori brand is here to serve as surrogate parents to you, okay? Curate conversations, bring in the best of the best to talk to you about those things that are ailing your heart that nobody even has the courage to speak about, because of course you don't want to come across as weak. You don't want to come across as that woman she's just come again. You just quietly sit in our homes and endure these things. Not anymore. Be sure that we're going to be as honest as the word honest can, as far as the word honest can get. But then remember that we're being vulnerable doesn't mean that we'll overshare, okay? We'll just, I know there's a thin line in between, but please respect our desire sometimes to hold some things back, maybe for the sake of the people involved or for the sake of our deep, deep, deep privacy. Do we have a deal? Thank you very much. So let's dive right in. The first question here is, okay, how do you prioritize your time and responsibilities between your spouse, your children, and professional endeavors? Please, I'm asking for myself too. Please.
Sometimes the world, especially the part of the world we live in, it puts a bit of pressure on you. You want to do everything right. But if you understand that you're learning as well, but this time you're learning forward, you give yourself a bit of peace. All right. You take it easy. For me, I think I've done the math before getting into the ring, if you like. For me, what's the math? I know that family comes first. And believe me, your work could come first. But for me, it's family. It comes from a very deep place. It comes from a very deep place. So family comes first. I know that if I'm on set, Laurie, I'm sorry, and I get a call that I have to see my son, I have to go. I have to go. I know that already. So I don't even try to solve it at that time because I know I may not be in the right frame of mind to solve it at that time. So I get it solved. So it's about me getting up and leaving politely. Politely.
Wow.
Yeah. So you need to understand these things. These things help you manage your time better. What should come first? What should wait? Believe me, there are some things that can wait. We're too much in a hurry to achieve. There's some things that can wait. I was telling you a few days ago while we're having that chat, I told you about being too quick to, you start a business, it's just a small business, and you're already talking about it being a brand and things like that. Just take it easy. It's a journey. Sometimes you start a business just to survive. It depends on where you're coming from. And don't be ashamed to just survive. Survive. You go past that phase and then you start looking on the next phase. And he'll lead you as you move on. But while you're surviving, you're trying to build a brand. Why won't it be chaotic? You don't even have what it takes to build a brand yet. So just understanding these little things would help you understand how to manage your time better and how to just live life.
Guys, that was profound for me. Pre-commitment. We've talked about systems before, right? You already have this math solved. It's there. You have a pact that for whatever you're doing, wherever you are, if you get a call, you're dropping things, prioritizing, making sure that your glass bowls are indeed on your front burners. That is deep, really deep. Now you are beginning to see why she's here with us today. The next one is what strategies do you use to maintain a strong and healthy relationship with your spouse while managing the demands of motherhood and business? Guys, I feel like these questions are my questions. Hope I'm speaking your mind when I ask these questions because They are so relevant to our present day. I'm not saying that because we created them, no, but because I see that they are also relevant to me or in this season of my journey. So please tell us.
I'm thinking as well, because when you say strategies, you sound like there's a blueprint to this thing.
Oh, there's not.
There's no blueprint.
Wow.
There's
Okay.
no blueprint. For me, please, it's important that you understand your spouse. Understand your spouse. Understand what's important to him or her. That will help you, to give you a lot of insights
Okay.
on how to go around things. So how do you maintain that relationship? I know that it's been overused, but it's the truth. Try and open your mouth and talk now. Communicate.
Right.
Communicate.
Right.
It may not be the most convenient thing to do, but you need it for your sanity. Try and talk. I've seen some people, they usually cannot talk face to face. They message each other. If that works for you, please do it. But by all means, you must talk. You must talk. So for somebody like me, I stay with the kids here in Abuja. My husband is in Bayelsa for work. We took a very strong decision to raise the kids here for many, many reasons. Okay. Taking that decision, we understand the strain it will cause our relationship. Because he comes in, he's quite regular. I'll give it to him. It's not very easy flying all over the place, to be with family, but he makes it very, very regular. And it's like he never left. And I know the pressure that puts on him financially and otherwise. I understand. So what is it on me now? I play both roles many times. I play both roles many times. And I don't play it with pride, believe me. And playing it with pride, I don't see it as rubbing it off or what's the word now? I'm being careful. I'm here. If you know Laurie, she's very prim and proper. So I'm being careful the kind of words I use. The kind of words I use. But sincerely, I'm not proud, very proud about it. I see it as a privilege and I'm grateful. Because each time I have the opportunity to play his role, I go to God just to teach me. Teach me how to. I know sometimes he can feel a bit awkward attending. You're the only one attending award night, this one, that one, and things like that. And you see people with their spouses, and then it looks like, oh, is she a single parent? That people are being careful not to be too forward. You could see it on their faces, like they want to ask you, but they don't know how to do it because you do school run, you drop off in the morning, you pick up in the afternoon, you do,
Yeah.
So I think communicating and understanding your goals as a family. Yes, we apart from our personal goals, we have our family goals. The reason why we took the decision to bring up our kids here. And I'm not saying it's bad in Bayelsa or wherever. It depends on what you want for your kids. Yeah. The reason why we decided to settle here.
Yeah. Wow. We could do this all day, really, because every point is like a door to yet another and another and another. See the way she's saying it so gracefully, like it's so effortlessly. Yeah. Guys, it's hard. It's difficult
Is
wearing
it?
all these hats and still being that a mom because you had a plan. Sometimes you be like, guy, what are you doing there? Why am I here and you are far away? Why am I the one that is answering guy questions when you are supposed to be here? But then she said something. Family goals. Understanding the seasons. We've talked about the zeitgeist, right? The seasons and times your family is in and what's necessary or relevant for you in that season. Dynamic A will not work for family B.
Absolutely.
Because, of course, Bayelsa is beautiful, Abuja is beautiful too, but they decided to raise family here. Is it always an easy call to make?
Not at all.
Of course not, because yes, my family, we are all together and there are days bros will just be sleeping. I'll be like, yeah, today like this. Why am I going to this place? So be that. I not say anything. If you quote me anyway, I'ma deny it. Of course, I'm not like that, Shane. The next one, how do you handle conflicts or disagreements with your partner while juggling the demands of family and work life? Social medium or the Lord is your strength?
So this question, as simple as it is very deep, because I see that just for very minor reasons, people have separated. Very minor reasons. I call them minor because, it would have been better. It should have been better. In fact, when you talk conflict, brings back memories. When I started my business, I started very small, started from home. It wasn't what he wanted for me. I had just moved back from the UK then, and then he got kidnapped. They had kept him for a few days, about 5 days plus, and we needed money for his ransom. So we had spent everything we had to to get him out of that den. And then so yeah, we're sort of back to ground zero. So I had to start something. I didn't have the time to look for a luxury job or going to do any kind of luxury business. I needed to do something with what I had at that time. So it was a very small business, very, very small business. So he didn't like that for me. He fought me so much that I don't think anybody would fight your enemy that way. But here's the thing. Because we are friends, we have lived for a few years, and he is being a good man to me. I refuse to believe that he was fighting me. My interpretation at that time was the fact that I know this man loves me so much, so he feels like this thing is beneath me. You see that? I could interpret it the other way, and then my I could interpret it the other way, and then my expressions, whatever, moving forward would have
Your
been reaction. Thank you, rather, would have been different.
Definitely different.
Would have been
Of
different.
course, different.
But I chose to, because I understand. I said, no, this man cannot. He can't be fighting me. He feels like I deserve better. He feels like I could be more. So because he would tell me things like, oh, you have 2 degrees, you can dust up your degree, you get a job, you get things. But that you don't know that these things don't come easy, but there are kids to feed now. I know I can get a job, but I need to feed kids now. And for me, that's what it's important now. So we had this conflict. And Lori, thank God I went to God. And I keep saying it because one of the things and challenges that marriages face is that you just feel that the both of you will meet and then you have a nice time.
Happily ever after. The end.
Different backgrounds, different perceptions about life, home training, different. So you see, sometimes it comes early in marriage, sometimes it comes much later. The moment you're trying to synchronize that relationship to actually be one, the reaction is bad. You see that thing going on, the reaction is usually bad. That's where a lot of people miss it and they walk out. So you hear, 2 years I'm off, 3 years I'm off. Sometimes after 15 years, that's when it will come. So that's why I said sometimes it comes early, sometimes it comes later. Believe me, for me, it came early. And thank God it came early because the kids were few. I just had one. So I didn't have too many, just one. I could just drop him off somewhere. Auntie, can he be with you? And then I'm going to fight.
Oh my God.
By that I mean we're going to have very strong conversations, So I take him out and then I come back. So he fought me so badly. But I went to God and sincerely I did go to God. I said, I don't know this man. Yes, I'm married to this man, but I don't know him. But yet you have his blueprint. Can you tell me how to live with this man? So this business that you have given me, except you haven't given me this business. So if you're in this business, can you make him understand that this is what you have given me and you need me to do this thing? I don't know how you want to do it, but you need to make him understand because I can't fight the order. What's the order? Shebi is the head of the house. If I fight the order, I fight you. And I don't want to fight you, God. Wow. And believe me, an opportunity presented itself. So we had this issue. Of course, that our kids are in the same school. So we could only pay for There were two at that time. The other one just joined early years. We could only pay for one. We couldn't pay for the second one. So he said, "Oh, you have to go to the school and talk to them." And sincerely, I went to the school, talked to them, but they had given us so much time. So the accountant said, "Oh no, they're having the school fees drive tomorrow, and if I don't pay the money, that they would stop her from going to school." Wow, it was a moment in my life, believe me. That night was the longest night. How do I tell this child that your brother will go to school, but you stay at home? How? So I came up with crazy ideas like I'd never forget. I said, "We'll go to the cinema." She looked at me and said, "Mom, you choose cinema over school. That's strange. Because you'd always ask me, you have to prioritize. You need to be in school first and then later. So why is it the other way around?" But I was looking for ways to just distract her so that, she stays off school that day. And then that gives us a bit of time to put something together. So she refused. And that night was the longest night in my life because I didn't sleep. I was thinking of just somehow, something.
Whoa.
Then I had this customer that's been trying to buy my products. She reached out to me. "Oh, I have like 4 stores in Ibadan. I'd want to be a distributor." And we had just started. What is distributorship? I didn't know what that meant. She said, "I'd want to be a distributor." Somehow I said, "Oh, to get it, you have to buy a minimum of 100 bags. That's 100 cartons precisely." And they said, "Oh, that's too much." I said, that's the minimum because we're a volume-based business. So the more you buy, the more we're able to make something. And then she said, "Oh, give me time." So we've been back and forth that conversation, Laurie. We've been back and forth. Believe me, that night she paid.
No way.
In fact, things were so bad with me at that time that I couldn't recognize 400K. Yes, I couldn't. Because don't forget, my husband, we had just spent all our money for this. I was in a very bad place. I was in a terrible place. Terrible. I couldn't recognize 400K. And then in the morning, my daughter woke up for that morning. Other days she'll be very grumpy, but that day she woke up very alive and walked herself to the bathroom to brush. So how do you tell such a child that today you
There's no
won't go
school
to school?
today. You must be a
So
witch.
I was worried. So I took my phone just to check time and then, check messages and things like that. So I saw credit alert 400K. I didn't even recognize. I couldn't. So I called my cousin, my sister that stays with me. I said, "Look at this thing. It's 400, four and many zeros. Is it 4,000?" She said, "No, auntie, it's 400. I said, "What do you mean 400?" So I called my husband because there was no name. So I called him. I said, "Did you send money to me?" He said, "No." I said, "You didn't send. Did you ask anybody to send me money?" He said, "No." I said, "What?" So I said, "You know what? I won't even bother. I'll go to school. I'll go with my bank card. I'll ask for their POS. I'll put in my card and try to make payment. If it goes through, if it doesn't go through, I'll have a backup story for them. Get ready. Let's go to school." So that was how I took her to school, dropped her. And they gave me the machine, put my card, and they gave me a printout. Believe me, I went home and I praised God till I slept. I didn't do any work. I was in shock. I have never experienced that in my life. And so it was 2 days later, the lady called me and said, "Did you receive the money I sent you?" That evening, I tried using my app. It didn't work. So I said, no, I need to push this money out. So we'll start the business. So I went to the ATM and I used it. "That's why you didn't see my name." I said, "Yes, I have received it. So how do you want the supply?" She said, "No, I don't have a warehouse. So you'll be giving me in bits." Money that I've spent already. "You'll be giving me in bits. Maybe you send the first 20 bags and afterwards you send and then on and on like that." That was how I put myself together. So my husband called me later, said, "Oh, how did you manage with Michelle?" I said, "Michelle went to school." Say, "How? How did you raise money? Did you borrow?" I said, "I didn't borrow. That my customer sent money to me." I'm laughing because he said, "I know you like to hype your business." What
Which
are you doing that
customer?
somebody is paying you 400K? But is it what I see you doing in the kitchen? And then I said, "Yeah, somebody paid 400K. He said, "Well, I'm on my way to Abuja. When I come, we'll talk." And then he arrived. I showed him all the charts, myself and the lady. And then he looked at me and said, "What? Somebody believes in what you do that much to pay you 400K and I'm here fighting you. You have to forgive me."
Oh,
And
wow.
that was it. And support from that day till today, even this morning. I was like, I'll be somewhere on set having a conversation with a podcast, whatever. So you don't call me till about one. So that's okay. So imagine that I stood up. I want to fight. You are, what's the thing they call that? You are abusing me. Emotional abuse. I will fight back for my rights. And then the ego in him stands up to say, you know what? I will show you that I'm the man of this house. What will we be doing?
Fighting.
Fighting.
Probably
For what?
in front of the children.
For what, really?
But then I'm dumbfounded. I'm awestruck. The first buzzword, like the thing that hits me, was the kidnapping. The way you said it, thank God that we do not look like what we've been through.
No.
The psychological trauma,
Yeah.
the sleepless nights.
I was pregnant for the last one, and I was
No,
alone
no
at
way,
home.
no way, no
I was alone at
way.
home.
The emotional upheaval.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get support for that? Where did the courage come from? Because for a lot of families, it's like they give up hope with this person never return, and then going back to ground zero.
Yeah.
You will loathe this person because you keep blaming him like it's his fault he got kidnapped in the first place. And I'm trying to help you. You will not allow your pride to get out of the way. Me with my 2 degrees. I'm going to do this thing. So I don't know who counsels the wives of nowadays. Maybe it's their online in-laws or something. A lot of ladies today would grab their bags and go at the first sign of danger. So thank you so much. I know in retrospect, now in real time, it feels like it was little. I won't say I understand how you must have felt, but I want to say thank you for staying and for whoever held your hand through those dark nights, because I don't think we have alone we're enough, but our completeness is always with someone at every season in our phase in our lives. So by extension, I'm saying thank you to whoever spoke sense to you that helped you receive sense, because in the heat of the moment it must have been tough, making the decision of where to go. And again, for standing in faith that God will just show up.
He will. Believe me,
God
he
will
will.
it just shows up. And why will the lady pay that night when you needed the money the most?
I do not till today. Till today. So when you ask God for something exactly what you want, I asked for an opportunity for him to understand. I didn't tell him how to do it. He did it in his own way.
Just like that.
I didn't know the man was going to be broke at that time, not to be able to pay school fees. He's been doing that very well. He takes pride in providing for his family. In fact, sincerely, when he takes money from me, he'll be like, how much did I take from you? And immediately he gets the money, say, how much is your money? And I'll add it times 10. He doesn't even care. He'll pay you. He say, before insults start. I don't know why he did. I don't know why he does that all the time. But sincerely, he takes a lot of pride in providing for the family. But at that time, it was just a moment. God is not. You can't be bigger than God. That's all I have to say.
Stories like this just make me love upon God a lot more. Stay with your religion, stay with your God. If it works for you, by all means. But for me, as a believer, as a person of faith, it just makes me love upon God more, knowing that it's not just in the Bible he did stuff, It provokes and challenges my faith. If God could do it for her, that same God can show up and do it for me. It gives me courage, the audacity to anchor again my faith and hope in him, especially for the things that we think are big. 400K for a business that just started from the kitchen. And then how were you able to put yourself to the mindset that, my money is my money, your money is our own. A lot of women are very rich. So rich that they can actually float the family for years. However, their children will be in the worst schools, will be poorly dressed. She's keeping her money to herself. She's living off, she wants to live off of the man who is temporarily in that season
Mhm.
down. I believe, personally, I feel like
I say that is because you can't choose to obey or believe John 3:16, and then you don't believe the other part of the Bible. What's the other part of the Bible? Say you cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve God and serve Mammon. Mammon is God of money. Money is your slave. Money should work for you.
please say that again. You
Money
cannot
is your, so you cannot serve two masters.
money is your guys. Do
So
you hear
what
that?
you do, what you need money for
Hmm.
here is money is just a means for exchange.
Hmm.
There are other means of exchange, really, but we have so amplified money, which is paper. Integrity is also a means of exchange.
Hmm.
Because sometimes you walk into a shop, they give it to you because, oh, this woman, she takes it and she brings the money. And many of us, especially women, we've experienced that. Relationship is another form of exchange. I walk into Laurie's shop and I'm like, oh, can I have cupcakes? Can I have drinks? Please tell Laurie I'll send the money to her. Because your salesperson has seen the both of us together. Because I am so close to the family. At least she'll let me live. Not until I spoil that opportunity. But you see, at that time, I'll be able to buy whatever regardless. So, but the world, of course, the trick of the devil or the plan of the devil over the years have so amplified money. Right now, we worship money. But remember, you were warned, you cannot serve two. You cannot serve, plainly, not mixing words. You cannot serve two. Don't forget the other part of the Bible that talks about seek me first. Every other thing will be added. So what is money really? Yes, it answered all things, but it says seek me first. So you don't believe in him enough to seek him first. But you believe John 3:16. That's what you can't choose what to believe. You believe in full. Whether it pleases you or not. That's how you serve. That's how you follow. It mustn't please you. Remember, if what's the word again? If it's your will, let this cup pass me by. It wasn't the most pleasant, but it said your will. So I'm not happy about this thing, but if you want me to, I have to. That is God Himself. But you don't want to serve. It has to be convenient for you. So I tell women that if you understand these things about money, my mom will always tell me, oh, I'm doing so much for the children. My husband is not doing so much. What if you didn't have a husband? So you no longer take care of your children. What is wrong with you? Aren't you even happy you're the one doing it? You want him to go around borrowing money to do it. Wow.
Deep.
Every opportunity you have to serve your family, whether in terms of providing for them, just being there for the kids, is an opportunity to prove yourself in your marriage. In your marriage. So take it and live it well. Because believe me, I know some people say, oh, my husband is a monster. My husband can do this. My husband can do that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And maybe we'll have that conversation some other time. No, I don't. But then if you understand your husband, they always appreciate when you stand in for them. So just like mine, he will not be all over the place saying, oh, I worship you, my wife, I thank you. But believe me, he appreciates you. He appreciates you.
Wow.
So keeping the money for what, really?
And
you see the thing we talked about doing the math before? What's your priority about life? You have children and you're sending them to poor schools. You're keeping money for who?
Bone straight hair.
Bone straight hair.
Pardon me,
please. You have a point.
Yeah.
You have a point. But can that be number 2 or 3? What's number 1? I'm interested in what's number 1.
Where did this faulty thinking come from? Could it be from programming, the way they were raised, interaction, social pressure? Like,
it has been amplified so much that it looks like the real thing. Okay. You can amplify lies so much, it begins to look like the truth. Yeah. Over time, it begins to look like the truth. You even begin to doubt yourself.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Like, is it true that the sky is blue,
Yes.
or did it become purple? Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. Bacons, you see why I said she's a well that never runs dry. One question will do like 2 hours on it because it keeps bringing up babies, and if we have to follow that trail, you guys won't leave here today. Meanwhile, so far, if you've been getting value, please, like we always say, don't keep us as your best kept secret. I don't want to be a secret. Like the Lori Brand podcast shouldn't be something you hoard. There's enough knowledge, wisdom to go around. Share, share, share. It doesn't cost anything to just click the share button. And of course, please like and comment to help the algorithm so that the video can be placed in front of people who really need it. You would agree with me so much that these questions we're having in this conversation today, they are very, very key. They're pivotal in our present day reality, especially in Nigeria with the hardships and all. So it would do a great deal of good. So instead of judging that woman or that man or that
Mhm.
family, to just click the share button and bring them in so that they can watch. You don't have to give them money. Just share. It's free. Thank you so much for all of you who do that every single time. We appreciate you. We're grateful. How does communication help in maintaining a successful marriage and business simultaneously? You talked about us talking,
Mhm.
open your mouth and talk. But how does this help? Will it not be like you're complaining? You come, okay, in my business, I'm having these challenges. Don't you sound like a broken record? Does it not make okay? In your case, where he was against you starting up, when you face challenges, did you go to him and say, will it not be like, hey, I told you so? That these things will happen. How does this communication, you say, let us be talking shit.
Mhm.
How this talk won't help us? We help, really. And how?
In talking, can you also understand that you need to know when to talk?
Wow.
Because you have mouth, you
Okay.
must not just open it. You can
Wow.
open it to take ice cream and probably take a glass of wine, but you don't open it to talk all the time.
Hmm.
You know when to say what. In fact, there's a conversation that we're supposed to have. I'm reading his mood. Oh yes, I'm reading his mood. It's an investment. It has to do with crypto and the rest of them. So with all the madness going around Bitcoin and Binance, I feel like it's such a wrong time to tell him that because the answer is going to be no. But there's a way I can manage that conversation
Hmm.
because come on, we're both brainstorming. Our son will be leaving for the UK in no time for uni. So you know what pounds is and things like that. So we're both brainstorming on how to, of course, make extra money. How do we earn much more than what we have now,
Hmm.
especially with what's going on now? So what ideas do you have? We're just talking about things like that. So I have this idea. Believe me, I've tried a few things around it and it's okay. But how do I sell the idea to him? I'll be very stupid to just walk up to and say, oh, we have to do this and that. And when I get no, what do? I get angry.
Hmm.
I get
Wow.
angry. And I won't take the responsibility that I failed to read the person's mood.
Hmm.
Believe me, as a woman, there are certain things your kids will tell you at certain times you'll blow up.
True.
That same conversation comes up another time and it's such a lovely conversation.
True.
So how? So what about the man?
Hmm.
About the man. In fact, when you talked about when you face challenges, you go back to tell him, not all.
Oh,
Not all.
okay.
Not all.
Okay.
I tell him, but I don't also assume his response. You know how you assume somebody, oh, he's going to laugh at me. If I go with that mindset, even when he laughs at something, I think he's laughing at me.
Hmm.
And it shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be so. But believe me, for the both of you, because you're together and you're now one, your success is his success. Nobody wants to be around the failure. That one I know. Don't you
Hmm.
feel like when something is going on well with you, people start calling you? That's the thing now. People want to know how you've been and things like that. What's going on with you? Can we have lunch? Can we meet here? You're having sometimes speaking engagement. It's going on well.
Hmm.
But when they sense nothing, so I know that nobody wants to really be around the failure. That the fact that he's around with you and you're still driving this thing called marriage he still sees something in you. So don't go with the assumption that if he looks at me a certain way, he's looking down, or maybe he's laughing at me because he warned me, or I just presented him an opportunity to laugh at me because I'm telling him something wrong about my business. So it's important that you understand these things. But communication is very key. Look at the both of us. So he is over there in Bayelsa, I'm here, and we don't communicate. You don't know assumptions will drive him crazy. The fact that I'm here, he knows.
True, very true.
As little as that is. So let somebody else call him and maybe 30 minutes earlier or maybe later telling him, oh, I saw your wife in Wuse too. What are you talking about? You get what I'm saying? What are you talking about? But imagine that I didn't tell him. And he called the house and he said, oh, she just drove out. Will he not believe that I actually went to Wuse too? Maybe. You know, so that has really helped. And it's important, believe me. It's very difficult. I don't talk much. I had to learn. And when I mean open your mouth, God is also trying to open my mouth. And that's why I'm saying open your mouth. There's a lot that you can solve just by having those conversations. There's a lot.
Wow. So it's not just enough to talk. You have to first read mood first.
Yes, please.
Okay. So you will not just go and open your mouth. Wow. Papa Titus, that thing I first tell you, be coming down. Be coming down. Do it the Esther way. Prepare a banquet. Fast and pray with your
This is not the time. What do you
guy.
mean banquets?
You see, that thing is important to you. There's a way to the city. That's what we're saying. Show this aggressive behavior. The people you listen to,
Absolutely.
the person, that influencer that's telling you, if your husband do that, go to their house and see what they are doing.
And it's a good thing you just talked about people influencing and that influencer, and also people canceling you. So it's good that we cancel people in marriage, but I tell people that please, the first 6 months of your marriage, that if you've not dated before, okay, forget about the dating because they say somehow they change. So after the ring and everything, so they change. So for me, I feel like the first 6 months or 1 year is for you to understand your spouse. Oh, you have to understand him. That's your work. You must understand him. Because if you do not understand him, how do you now understand how to live with him? You buy a phone now, you begin to study the phone now. You press and you begin to figure things out yourself. Immediately you get the phone. You don't even wait. You just try to figure it out. In a month, you figure out more. In 2 months, you figure out even much more. And like in a year, you already own that phone. You already own that phone. For me, I feel like that's how you understand your marriage. You understand the man. My husband does not believe that if he wants to say sorry, he has to now get you a flower. So if I'm looking at an influencer that believes that they have to give me a flower, I'm on my own.
Off your mic.
But believe me, I'm praying when the batteries. But believe me, he means it when he tells you sorry. If he does things around, he means it. But if you're waiting for flower,
he even says sorry. Some people will come and ask you, that your charger that spoiled last week. Have you repaired it? I have repaired it. I grew tech skills. Oh, and you said you wanted to eat watermelon. I remember my dad way back when they just have their fights like that. The guys coming by, you know, recharge card used to be
yes, yeah.
I just see, my godly said, but you recharge card and then one big giant watermelon. I'll be like, hey, keep it down. Hey, you will see it. You will see it.
So, but after
drop your pride.
What does mom say? What does she do? She just moves on, isn't
They'll
it?
bring tray, they'll cut the watermelon. She hey, you have taken one before. This watermelon is something. I'll be like, people should fight tomorrow. I want more watermelon.
That's it, really.
Seriously.
That's it. What does
Seriously.
Does your marriage even mean anything to you? Because every time you want to fight.
No, he has to kneel down now, buy flour, take it to Cold Stone Creamery.
You don't even know nice places. Did you just say Cold Stone? Is that where they go?
Do I know?
That's for children.
Do I even know? Because I don't know why somebody will come and tell you this is how they live. You're not married to the same person as them, and you expect like you want to live with your husband like that. My husband took me to this place last week. Guy, see, I mean,
in fact, a lady came to me saying, "Oh, that my marriage is so bad and things like that." I said, "We're all there." And then she says, oh, that she's thinking of just, leaving, that she for her sanity and think things are so bad. I said, what's the problem? Don't tell me all. Tell me the one that is hitting you most. Because there are so many. Well, just tell me that one. And she says, oh, she's the one taking care of the children, school run, everything. She does all that herself. And I said, is there nothing that you mean he doesn't do anything? So for me, my husband does not have the strength to be doing this for all. He would love it, but please, if you're doing it, he'll rather applaud you and give you all you need to do it. Because you see that morning sleep and disrupting his coffee and things like that. Like, I used to feel bad about those things. All right. But then, still in a place of prayer, God opened my eyes to seeing other things about him. You know what? He takes pride. He can go to the market and shop for the house. Not many men do that. So if I find that in him, I decided to amplify that so well that I do not longer see the other flaws around him. Still in the place of prayer, God said, if he does not do so well with the whole school thing, I have equipped you and enabled you to do it. And that's the complimentary thing I'm talking about.
One can chase 1,000.
So that's his weakness. That's your strength.
10,000.
Go on with it.
Beautiful.
So why are you complaining? That's his weakness. That's your strength. Go on with it. You also have weak areas. I can stay
your mic.
I can stay the whole year without taking a picture with family. But he likes to do, let's dress in a traditional attire, call people to just come home, take us a photo. My house looks like a shrine. Photos everywhere.
Wow.
Photos everywhere. This one, when we did this one, he will frame everything and put every walkway there's photo. That's his strength. As simple as that is, it's something because my kids come back most times, they're looking for baby photos. He's the only one that can give them because I don't take photos. They're like, oh, they asked us to do a project in school when my baby photo, adult, and things like that. I don't have. And he'll just send them loads of photos. As simple as that is something. Sure. It's something. You can't tell him how to live. Is he your son? You can't tell him how to live. No, you have to be doing this. You have to be for how.
Wow. Wow. I think at this point, I'm going to ask, please, ma, don't be angry. This question is not even among the questions we're supposed to ask.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever considered teaching people these things you know? Because
to be, I don't know. Okay,
this is a lot.
I don't know.
This is a lot. And I believe that there are women, especially somewhere out there, who are at the brink of ending things that just need this word. Just one line. Is he your son? Women that are telling their husbands, go and do this, go and do that. Especially some that maybe have the ears of their husbands, who do not understand that it's an honor and a privilege, to be the confidant and all.
Yeah.
You now think because you now know this person, you are intimate with him, is now your mate. I see men as not just men as per their humanity. I think of a man as a king, a priest, and a prophet. So you live with the man in him, and then you're now over familiar with the grace. You now abuse the office of king and prophet.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So much so that when he's in that office as king and prophet, you commonize him. Like David was dancing before God. Micah said, "What are you doing?" She could not separate the should I say dimensions or universes of the man.
Yeah.
You see? So if we have voices like yours constantly in their ear, sometimes the people you are talking to may not be the ones that even receive the sense. It may just be a passerby that just catches, because if the world is constantly churning out content to derail minds, why are we as kingdom warriors not putting content out there to help families, to help marriages, to help homes? Why are we not lending voices? Now I'm beginning to understand why the scripture says the harvest is plenty, but the
Yeah.
laborers
Yeah.
are few.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why are you not laboring in the vineyard?
To be
Seriously.
honest, I'm thinking
Because
of
we need you.
also.
My community needs you. We want a go-to place that, okay, they need to hear this is they'll come.
Right.
Laurie, please do that. Go and meet her. Go and meet her.
I'm also thinking of how to just create a platform where we'll have conversations like this. I'll also bring other women on board where we brainstorm,
Amazing.
we'll just have conversations. So but just by talking, people can learn a lot. So I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
at creating something like that. Yeah, so soon would
Beautiful. Are you getting value? Are we making sense? This is worth your time. Thank you so much for spending time with us so far. We're just going to hop on really, really quickly to the next question. How do you ensure that you take care of yourself? Because burnout and mental health issues these days, so that you stay sane. While fulfilling your roles as mom, as spouse, and as business owner, especially with the current dollar needs.
So I like the order as mom. So you see that's your first priority. No, did you say as mom?
Yeah.
What again?
As spouse and
As
as
spouse.
business owner.
You see the order? Was it deliberate?
Well,
Not
not
really.
really.
So that's the order.
Not really.
That's the order. You're first born.
Yeah, but for me, I think if I the order in which I wrote it is spouse, mom, and business owner.
Oh, okay.
Spouse 1st,
Mhm.
mom next,
Mhm.
and business owner.
Correct.
Because one day, me, I feel like children will leave you and leave this marriage. So
Absolutely.
they suck it dry, don't now leave the shack for you. Going to their happily ever after. So no, for me, marriage, children, money
So,
will
so
come.
you see the thing about doing the math and knowing what's important to you per time. I also feel that there are some things you need to define for yourself.
Okay.
I was having a conversation with my son. He said, "Oh, he's no longer motivated." I think I had that conversation, which is no longer motivated about a few things and things like that. And I told him, I said, things like success, things like fun, you need to define it for yourself. You cannot generalize it. What people think is fun to them is not fun to me. So what people think that is taking care of yourself. So I see a lot of madness. And permit me when I say that. People will go for pedicure and so self-care. What's that? They're taking care of others as self-care. That's what you should do with your responsibility. Oh, well, we can call it self-care probably because it's not something you make out time really to do. It has become luxury because you don't have much time, probably because of the kids and things like that. But the real care is in understanding yourself and knowing what's just you at the time. Taking it easy. You know how we take on so much. You see somebody has been in business for 20 years and all of a sudden you want to achieve it in 2 years. Why? And you make excuses like, oh, we have there are a lot of gadgets now, I can get there immediately. No, you can't cause process. So if you understand this, you will not be hard on yourself. You will not be hard on yourself. I define my fun. Fun to a lot of people might mean go to the club, have drinks and things like that is fine. But that's so stressful. It's so stressful because my fun is having a nice meal, reading a book in a very quiet place. So if I had not defined it for myself, I will be jumping all over the place thinking I'm having fun. Yes, yet I'm burning it. Mm. Please find yourself. Understand the things that are important to you and define certain things for yourself. And don't be ashamed about it. Sometimes you present it. You don't like to even say it because you feel like it's boring. You know, right? And you feel like people will tell you, why are you doing that? It's boring. That's you. Own it. I don't like noise. I'm sorry. And I'm not against you. You like noise, but I don't. At least I know that I don't like it. I don't feel the person. So I take out time. People build businesses in 2 years. Myself, I give myself time for my business to grow. Understand that growth takes time. I enjoy my process a lot. Believe me, I do. Even my challenges, all of that, I take it. Even when I'm low on speed, I take it for a redirection. I don't feel like it's not happening. Why is it not happening? Things should be happening. I understand that it's not every time it will happen. It's still part of the process. God is still involved. It's not every time it will happen. So when you go out looking for what's going on, how it's happening, what is happening, and the moment it's quiet on your side, you begin to stress yourself from within, feeling like you're not doing enough. Things that with social media is madness. Everybody looks beautiful. Have you seen all the lovely bios on LinkedIn? Everybody's a boss on LinkedIn. He's a mad person now because I know that many are mad, but it's just a few that are rude. All of us are free like that. Yeah. So you really need to take it easy on yourself. Give yourself time to grow. Time is such a beautiful storyteller. Mm. Beautiful storyteller. It heals wounds. It changes things. It changes things. Give yourself time. Take care of yourself. Redefine it for yourself. Redefine it for yourself. Please, his part is taking care of yourself, yes. But are you really taking care of yourself? Are you really taking care of yourself? Wow. I like the way you kind of reprogram the status quo. You recalibrate your focus. Um, this man is fighting with me, not because he hates me or because he's a devil, because he cares for me and feels this thing is feeling me. I'm not judging you for liking what you like, but because I know that I'm not comfortable with it, I prefer to be this way. Man knows that he's self and there's something. Be unapologetically be assertive, be audacious, be authentically be. That's so important. People are forced to live a certain way, and it bleeds my heart because people force adults are bullies too. Yes, they are. Adults are bullies too. So when we talk bullying, we talk for children. People walk into certain places and they don't respect people for being who they are. And they try to enforce who they are on you and make it seem like that's how you should be. Why? At least you didn't create me. You should respect that. So if the person that created me has made me that way, because sometimes you come in a certain way, even you don't understand why you're like that. You're so nice that you tell yourself, I'll never make this mistake again. In the next 1 minute, please, you're doing it again in another way. So just understand that. You see this niceness, eh? I know that there are gaps in this thing, and it's taking so much from me. Okay? It's taking so much from me. So what do I do? I want to go in prayer. You see this factory fit everyone that you put in more. Not that I can use it in a way that it will be for my good, to promote you and not against me. Reasonable to serve them. Because your heart can really kill you. You know, in this world, when people know that, it's so nice. If I ask him for money, he'll give me over and over. What do? They ask you until they know you don't have, but they still ask. But they don't go to those that they know that you know. So they use certain attributes that you have against you. That doesn't mean you should change who you are. That's who you are. You can't even help yourself. Accept it, but go to God and ask for knowledge, for light in that area. That's what I usually say. So light in that area, give you some kind of knowledge on how to manage that who you are. So that niceness is annoying. It's comfort for another day because a lot of when I meet some people, maybe from the way I check or the way I live, they are just already they're just not going up and yeah, I'm not a nice person. Just dead that idea and be there because I feel like a lot, like you rightly said, a lot of people take advantage of your niceness and they want to now they do it so much so that you feel a certain way for not showing up for them. Yeah. Even when you know that you have no business showing up, they now make it okay, entitlement. Yeah. They become entitled to your resources, your time. Imagine somebody offending you and still having audacity to say, I know that I offended you, but the advice you were giving me before, can you continue to be giving me? Like this is new. This is new. At least that person was honest enough to tell you. No, seriously, like read the room. Read the room. Do you understand? I believe so much in nurturing relationships, you know. I by all means detest transactional whatever, affiliations or anything.
Nothing gives me more joy than giving to someone who I know is not in the position to give me back in the capacity I have given. I go back home that day, I am overjoyed. But then you have ended the relationship. You still want to benefit from the fruits of something you have not nurtured. Do you go to ask for fruits from a dead tree or from firewood? You don't. You don't. So if you have severed your ties with me, you have lost everything that I carry. The relationship and your relationship with me gives you access to a certain network of value, a bouquet of value, a big array of it, a robust one for that matter. So you cannot cut the ties and still expect the blood to flow. It will spill on the floor. So if you really, really appreciate my genius or whatever value I bring to the table, nurture the relationship. Will it be convenient? Of course not, it's not. I tell people that give to you, they don't give because they have. They give because it's in their nature to do so. If not, everybody will be carried. So that I've given you does not mean that I have one money bank stash somewhere. Maybe that the money that I've used to maybe rent a studio. I'm like, this person has not eaten, I want to rent studio. I'll remove from it. Money that I've used to do that thing. Let me give to that person. Sometimes that person does not even have savings anymore because they have scattered their seed about the place. And then you stay somewhere and say, is it just this 2K? Do you know if I emptied my account for you? Do you understand? So I'm going to put it out there. Disclaimer: I am a nice person. Don't come and start feeling, yes, I'll take advantage. That we have chosen to walk the talk of being Christians does not mean that we're in any way stupid. And that's why this year I'm actively learning the wisdom of the serpent. Because we've been sent like sheep in the midst of wolves. And then Christ admonished us to be as you know, I told you this the other day. As calm as the dove, but as wise as the serpent. Such a contradiction. Do you understand? So you see that serpent wisdom. We define that this year. No vex. That niceness. There should be a line. Do you understand? If not, like you rightly said, you keep giving to your wings run off, and then they'll go and pitch their tent elsewhere. Have you not noticed that the givers, so to speak, that when chips are down for them, most of the times the people they give are not the ones that come to help them. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. So to the next one. What role does support, whether from the spouse, family, or professional network, play in your ability to navigate the challenges of marriage, motherhood, and business? I ask because the carefully curated feeds on social media just shows us that marriage is blissful. There are no misunderstandings. Cook lunch for my husband with me. Get ready for date night with me. Come, let's go and shopping with my husband with me. Please show me too when you and your husband fought yesterday. No. Tell me when you people called each other names and you do not talk to each other with me. Why do we do this? Especially us women. Now we. Now they find trouble. You will tell us how you people have the big fight you had last week. How did you resolve it? Your professional network, your spouse, the community around you. How do they support you in navigating challenges in your marriage? In being a mom, now, of course, there are a lot of things, especially in business. What role do you play? So when you talk professional network, the people around you, as powerful as you, and that thing is simpleness with it. Please, as you grow older, they always say, but I don't know if you understand what they're saying because they say, oh, when you grow older, your network becomes smaller, you do this and things like that. As true as that can be, you need to keep people around you. I tell people that two people don't fight, values clash. Once your value does not align with someone, it's a matter of time. So, in picking friends, first understand your values, please. And your value is not I'm honest, I'm just forget this. People, when you ask somebody, I'm honest, I like telling the truth, I'm bold, that's not, it's deeper than that. It's way deeper than that. Make sure whoever you pick into your circle or choose into your circle aligns with your value. The relationship will be seamless.
So it feels like we have known for 20 years.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Yes. True.
Because we're both sort of chasing the same thing. And what's that? We need to speak for the change. That's your value. That's my value. That's the same. So it's easy. Do we force anything? No. Get on my podcast. Get on my own. Let's do this one. Let's do the other one. That's it. If it's the other way around, you will struggle to maintain that friendship or that relationship.
Very true.
Please, you must have people. They are not many. God, as you live this life, will always give you one. I pray that you're able to identify it. They don't come in packages that you like. They don't come in. Some of us were lucky to have our parents, or maybe you have your mom. That's that person that will really dance for you. You can tell her anything. Oh, I'm just killing someone. Yes, that was bad, but sit down. I know that you're also not a killer. I want to know why you killed the person. I refuse to believe that you're a killer. Because I know you never. But I need to know why. What spirit got into you to do that? So you're safe to really talk to that person. The intention of this believe that kind of person. Because you see those conflicts, you're talking about things like which we are doing. Those conflicts. Come on. So times like that, where do you go? Who do you talk to? You could be talking to somebody that you believe in their life. No, don't agree. No, I won't agree. And you find yourself, because you're already vulnerable, you're not thinking. You find yourself doing that. And the man is wondering, like, what is wrong with this woman? And you know, men, when you show them, they don't want to show you that they're less of who they are. What do? They show you back. Now, you don't like that show back. And you don't like it. Because you do yours in bits and they take their own all 10 yards. Quietly.
For that matter.
Quietly.
Grace.
Also for business, you're network. I'm a huge, I always talk about it. I'm very you understand what it means to network and build your network. That's where ideas come from. That's where wealth creation comes from. That's where businesses. Motivation. That's where businesses are born.
Counsel too.
To be honest, the moment I knew, and I told you that really, the moment my son got to the age where we're looking at uni, I knew I had to break out of my circle to join another circle. Yes, I knew. Why? Because for my circle, we were all trying to get our kids done, but I needed to get into another circle. Circle of people that have done that. Because I needed them to teach me how to do it. Don't forget the place of value again. So I met a particular lady, loved, devoted Catholic, not just because she's that favor. 4 sons, all trained abroad, lovely children. She never spent time there with them. Yes, she will visit come back, but she will never be. What a big age.
They are still such.
So I'm telling you that one of the first one carries her bag literally when they walk. Oh, David, he carries her bag. Yes, ma'am. High flyers. So I said, thank you. So I went to her, and for that reason, I said sometimes when I go to her, oh, my husband doesn't even care the course is going to do. What is this in the answer? You know what? That's what's supposed to guide him right. He's not against you. That's why every decision you take that you take, like, okay, that's a enjoy that. Sometimes we don't enjoy enough what God gives us. We are looking for the one He wants to give us, and He said He will give us. That's the one we're looking for. And if that one doesn't come, we're all over the place. What about the one He has given you now? At least enjoy that one first. So I broke into that circle. So she started teaching me, how to choose a good uni, when to look out for, how to, things like that. I started learning. And then she also taught me how to, it's time for you to influence. Because you can't do
Convert from fat in naira to the native currency.
So start thinking it. You have time. You still have a few years. Please start thinking export. No. So you think export, you keep the money there, and it's easier for you to do whatever you have to do. So having the right people in your circle, it's very key. Please take it as a matter of priority. Don't leave it to chance. Don't leave it to chance. Because indeed they make or break you. Don't leave it to chance. Take it as something very better.
I could just keep going. Wow. Now we sound like an ambulance. Such depth in wisdom, really. I see a person who is living what she's saying. That's knowledge that comes from a book in its raw form. It is knowledge that now wisdom that has been applied, that now become power, that she's building so gracefully. She's always willing to share. You ask a question relentlessly. She's not putting any limits in what she would teach. It's I don't know how to word it properly. She just sits down calmly and tells you, no, it's like this and like that. Always wanting to give value. It's not like she doesn't have a trunkload of stuff to do. She just, it's as if time pauses and she's there in the moment, dishing out value. I mean, don't stop telling me these things. Put it out there. The world has to hear all of these. Really. Because it comes effortlessly. Remember, these things that come effortlessly to us, we're not learned easy. Some of the things we have to go through may actually kill some people. Yeah. In their lives. But the grace to go through so we can open the door and hold it for other people is why we are here. So don't take these conversations lightly, things. Because now you know, and whatever you know will be held against you. Yeah. Because how important will it be if you had a book with all this richness and then you never read it? What would that give you, right? Have you liked this video yet? Are you leaving comments? Have you shared with your friends and your loved ones and that person you've been judging? Please do so if you haven't. While we're on to the final questions of this episode, good. Something in me just does not want it to end. All good things to come to an end, right? Have there been any unexpected lessons or insights you've gained from balancing these three aspects? I feel like me, definitely, I've defined my life. Four things are my glass balls. I learned that concept of glass balls from Barista Mama. My life as Lauren and every of the many hands and legs. Yeah. My marriage, my children, and the Laurie band. There are not many. Those four. Success for me means balancing or doing what's essential in real time in those four aspects. And like, of course, the other three important aspects of the glass box, right? What unexpected lessons? Or you were expecting life to just go like this and take a turn. I think from insight you get from balancing, trying to balance your three. For me personally, I think I've come to realize that all three may need your attention. Demand, not me, demand your attention at the same time. So what you said, knowing your priority. So I tell the business, hello, we can't wait. If anything happens with Glory Brand today, as much as you guys love us, you hop on to the next podcast, boss, and leave. But if anything happens to my marriage, I'll be left to pick up the pieces. Yeah, behind me, right? If anything is happening with my children, a lot of you that are shouting Hosanna, Hosanna, I'll be the first to spiritually crucify him. So prioritizing has been it for me. There are times my children need to spend time with me and I need to spend time with my husband. I tell them, I love you. I do with all my heart. But someday, they're not so distant, you will fall in love with someone and move on. You will carry your bag. So this is me nurturing, pouring into this tree so that it will keep growing. I'll come back. Right? But then sometimes it's also an emergency with them, so I have to. it's a struggle. You're happy you're here, you're sad you're not there. So how is it for you really? And what insights do you draw from such moments, some key moments where it's really difficult to maybe pick and choose? Because all of them are glass balls, they are all important. Right?
In fact, starting 2024, did I do the what's that thing now?
Vision board.
Yeah, did I do the vision board? Yeah, I think I did the vision board with my kids. But then again, me, I put it aside. Well, that's not because I do not believe. I did believe it, and it's real. It was. And I told myself something. 2023, I was overstretched. And I stretched myself too much because I was playing in too many places. So in business, I was playing in too many areas. So that stretched me. 2024, I told myself, one, know where to win, how to win, and with whom you want to win. There's nothing wrong in achieving just one thing and one thing. So part of the lessons I learned that because you can be everywhere, but as you wind out to the end of the year, you now find that you haven't done so much.
True, we're busy but not productive.
Prioritize. You have some things, like you said, some things for the emergency you have to do a different place about. You see, very good example. Oh, I want to pour into my relationship, but then my child needs my attention. There's an emergency. The both of you have to attend to that one first and then so just understanding that and not feeling bad about it. People actually feel like some people actually feel like there's what's the word now? Yeah, you know how they say it on Instagram, don't agree. We're talking about not aggressively. We're talking about how people say separate your what's that thing?
Separate your business account from your personal account.
How do you tell a woman that is bootstrapping to separate it? What can you say, bro? After this woman is struggling to separate it. How do you tell a child that wants Cocoa Pops that you have just made some money? It's your business money. You're waiting for daddy's money. How do you explain that? How do you put yourself in those kind of things? You see what I talked about? Your business being for survival first. You're in a bad place already. Survive first. Then you leave that space, you begin to talk about brand and then separate money. The money will separate itself because now you have enough to take care of your personal needs and then the business money too on its own. So I told myself, one, where to win? This is the industry I'm playing in this year, or these are the places I'm playing in. We talked about four balls, for you probably this year, yeah, looking at these areas. You're clear on those things. Yeah. And all of your activities are around it. Where to win, or rather how to win. You know what to do. You're the podcast now for your brand. You've already reached out to people you want to get on set. You already know the team you're working with. You know what they need, how to empower your team and things like that. That's it. And then with whom? You know that, oh, this my life guy needs to be here, or this person needs to be here, and things like that. So for me, with whom? And guess what I did last year? Knowing that having it clear this way, straighten out this way in 2024, I started to reach out to those people I wanted on my team last year. Why? Because you know that if you want to do something in 2024, especially first quarter, you have to spend in 2023 for you to be sure that it will work in 2024. Because not everybody starts 2024 in January. No, not everybody.
Tweet. That's a
Who's that? Is that you? Is that you?
Yeah, that was
no, not everybody. Some people will tell you, I need to spend 3 months with God. What do you tell us? And you need that person on your team. But if you had briefed that person earlier, 2023, I'm working on this thing in 2024, I'll give you in January, I will be there, but can I get you somebody and guide you through the process? At least you work out something. You don't just assume that, this January, I love this sport, so, I need you. And the person says, no, I'm not having it. So people have their moments. Some people start the year in March. Some people start after April. We have our different journeys. You can't question it. Wow. So it's important that you understand You understand these things. Lots of lessons like that. Lots of lessons. That's really a lot. That's a lot. It's all boils back down to priorities, knowing yourself well, your values, where you are, and who you need to travel with, the whole network and thank you so much. And to the final question. If that's single, I wouldn't tell the lie. No. As a successful entrepreneur and mother, what advice do you have for aspiring business women who want to prioritize their family life? I'm asking for me first. You know, the struggle between post 5 times a week, come and do live videos. Somebody said you must do two live videos every day or what? Do giveaway. Come and do this. I love money. Girl, who doesn't? But I love my family too. I don't want to win at the expense of my family. But then all of them are task demanding. Yeah. They definitely need all the time, the nurturing, the attention. It's worse off when you have many children. That's more than one, especially. Yeah. So, what advice do you have for people like us? You have one family. Your last one is out. We're just starting. It's now we're looking for, hey, who did it? Wait, some people said they're just even, maybe one of the people viewing right now is pregnant and she's ambitious and she's wondering. So what advice do you have for us, man, the up and coming us? Did you just say that? If talking about just pregnant and this, when I had my first baby, I put him in the pot, and the next morning I said, you're still like this, you haven't grown. Let's feed him. I was looking forward to the child that will just start running, and then let me, you have not grown. If you grew overnight, I didn't carry him. I don't care. So the moment they started crawling, I was so happy. I'm like, when will you start? I asked this question of the child. Really? Wow. So I understand how this, I understand how you feel when you are there. But it's a journey, isn't it? Just take your eyes off realities and enjoy it. One step at a time. Advice to what advice is bigger than knowing yourself? See, as simple as this thing sounds, some people don't know themselves. Some people don't know themselves, and they fall for everything and anything. Please, it is not wrong for you to be family their own business. Now, that doesn't make you a weak businesswoman. There are people that do not want to grow in billions. Yes, we must understand that, and we must have a place for those people in the society. Please, let's not make everybody feel like we all want to be content with her. We don't all want to be. We appreciate her. That's who she is. But I also understand that there are people that they don't want to be. And stop. You have to come out. You have to be there. If this woman feels like I can sacrifice 3-4 years of my life for my children to get to that level when they're sort of independent, why do you make her feel bad? Why do you not make her feel bad? But at that time, are there things that you can do that will not interfere with that process? Maybe developing yourself. Now there are a lot of things you can do from home without being out there. Let's also respect that space. My dear, the simple advice, I think there's so much advice there, but simple for me, know yourself, know what's important to you at the time, build it together. With your full chest. Yes. What if you have children that need, some children, like my 3 children, 3 different personalities. The first one, oh my God, the first one doesn't talk much, very emotional. All right, so words get to him. Oh, yes. If you want to flog him or correct him with the cane, he will be very glad. In fact, you get tired of doing that. But just use words. You break him into pieces. Use words. Sit him down and have a proper conversation. The second one, as you are raising the kid, she's already something dangerous. And anything you want her to do, she'll do it. As you are talking, she's not listening because for her, she knows everything. She has it figured out. That's what she says. I have it figured out. And then the last one tells you exactly what you need. Yes. He tells me, I feel you are insulting me. Yes. But I feel you are insulting me. How? Why they use cream when I should wash my hair in front of them? So you see, these three personalities need time. When they come past that stage, they are able to take them. See those formative years? Very true. Very true. That's why you have the lovely girls and the muscle men. The lovely men and the muscle men. These formative years, so much is going on there. So you need to be there. So for me, I think know yourself, know what's important for you. Know your space. You do what you want to do that time. Some people choose career over family. I love it. If it works for me, that's right. And some people will choose family over. We don't feel bad for choosing family. We don't feel bad. Don't die. Maybe next time we can check what yeah, true, true. True, especially for that woman or man or dad who's wondering with the economy, watch the video. Yeah. As a closing tradition on the podcast, we usually ask two questions. Okay. Number one is we shock you, like in the perspective of what parenting experience came as a shock to you, like, is this how it used to be? I never experienced that. I think for me, it's just raising the child you have instead of raising the child you want. Wow.
Can you can you
Yes.
pieces it like break it down for us?
You know, sometimes you have your child and you just think that he'll be A star, honors roll, you know, good at everything, sports check, this one check. And now, sincerely, in reality, you have a child that is struggling with these. And then you look at yourself, I'm very smart. How come?
They shock you. You never experienced it. I get that.
You know, how come you are not? How come? But in those moments, understanding that this is what I have. How do I fix what I have? You know, instead of raising what I
think, or what my neighbor is raising. Do you know your child? Knowledge of your child too. Oh, that's a good one. And finally, what's your definition of excellence?
What's excellence really? Define it for me.
Well, the entire idea behind the Lori brand is to inspire excellence in parenting. For us as a brand, excellence in parenting means being present, being active, being a listening parent, showing up for your children, knowing the child you're raising, their strengths, their weaknesses, their temperaments, their learning styles. By all means, far from the mundane, what's your favorite color, what's your favorite show, knowing what values resonate, which of your values resonates with them, and how to even bring them from where you are to a place of from where they are to a place of understanding, so that you meet in the middle. Excellence means being emotionally intelligent and calm enough to know that you are a different person entirely from your child, so that you're not be living your life through them, understanding that they are different, the perception to life towards life is different, and what they need, and most importantly, being okay with them carving their identity. They'll take from you, they'll take from their dad, they'll take from the society based off of what environment you created from them, epigenetics and all, and create a wonderful masterpiece. Being okay with knowing that you have taught enough and that they are learning. Because it's one thing to teach a child and for another thing for them to learn, for it to stick. Don't expect that the child will be a carbon copy of you. Just being okay with them growing up to be who they were destined to be. That's excellence for us.
So, yeah, I take that definition. I take it. That's very strong. And I think it covers every area of parenting. But for me, I'll look at myself and say I have done well when I just lead them back to God. When I lead them back to God, I like I understand it's important to have the education and everything, but you see, when you have all of these things and you don't return, then you have lost it. I believe that your marriage should lead you to God. Your education should lead you to God. Your career should lead you to God. Everything you do here on earth should not take you away from Him, but lead you to Him. Remember, they are His children, not yours.
True that. Yeah.
So train them and lead them back to Him. Yeah.
True. True. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
for
a
having me.
guest.
I had a
It's
nice
been
time. Yes, I had a nice time.
I am the one who had a nice
I
time.
had a
Because
nice
it wasn't just a conversation, it was me learning too. It was me having those eureka moments, finding meaning to some questions that I have also been asking myself, feeling okay with being ambitious, while still being comfortable with raising children, knowing that it's not out of place to want to grow your career, but leave it like putting a pause on your ambition to raise, to at least forge that foundation for them. For someone like me, for instance, who has said my last child must be up to age 4 before I branch out to building my career. You have no idea. You don't know really what this conversation meant to me. Thank you so much. I hope we would have you again and again, because I believe that, like I said, a well that does not run dry, an ocean of knowledge, let's say. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Bakins, you've heard it all. Do I need to really add anything? We've emphasized severally the importance of values, the importance of community, the importance of the right network, the importance of having God as your anchor, or whatever you believe in, or whoever you believe in, depending on the religion you are practicing. Remember, we are not here to come and tell you, come and be a Christian, come and serve my God. If where you are is working for you, it's okay. What we're saying is show up and be an excellent parent. Parenting is first about you. It is a doing word, being a parent, right? Your children have little or no say in it, really. When I say little or no say, I mean in the values you are imbibing. Yes, they can mirror back at you and you see that this thing needs tweaking, needs upgrading, needs tearing down, but you are the one in the driver's seat. You are the one God has given the mandates, the blueprint, the knowledge, the wherewithal to raise that child. The onus is now on you to show up audaciously and take the bulls by the horns and stand firm. Joshua said, as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. Are you going to beat your chest boldly and bravely in this day and age and say, as for me and my household will be excellent, will imbibe the values of being a true believer, for instance, depending on whatever religion you practice? Are you saying you will show up and irrespective of the fact that you are Christian, Muslim, or anything else, that will first be humans and treat other people as special and as important? That is what honor is about. Are you going to beat your chest boldly and say that no matter what, I will stand in integrity and model that virtue to my children? You see, these conversations, like I said, they are not for you to carry home and use as templates to live your lives. We are very different human beings fighting different battles and on different paths or levels in our unique journeys. We're saying be inspired and go back and see, what do I need to improve on? What do I need to change? What do I need to learn? What do I need to unlearn? Who do I need to connect with? What friendship is no longer serving me? Who do I need to become to raise the kind of children that we thrive, that we dominate, and that will be excellent? Until we meet again in our next conversation, stay excellent.